Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. So in a couple days, day after tomorrow, a group of us will be heading off to lead a 10-day retreat. Myself, Ajahn Grundamo, Ajahn Yaniko, Debbie, Tentisaro, Seminary Dhammavaro, and of course that's a retreat that's been associated with Abhayagiri now since actually before the monastery was started. And so we'll be off on the retreat, but I encourage the resident community and the lay people who will be here during the retreat to try to similarly pick up the that intention of settling into a continuity of awareness on a bit more formal practice, a bit more sense restraint, composure. It will be and be for everybody's benefit. And there still be various duties that need to be attended to, but still just giving attention to a bit more of the formal side of practice. We'll be trying out a new venue for the retreat. So a certain amount of uncertainty as to the suitability of the place, the situation. It sounds like it should be fine, but you never know. Whereas definitely the monastery itself is certainly a environment is very conducive for a retreat atmosphere. Just to encourage people to to be exploring themes of practice and investigation, and putting a little extra attention on what's actually helpful for the cultivation of peaceful and settled states of mind. And and it was at tea time tonight. I was speaking with the people who were there, and kind of reiterating that in practice, what we need to be attending to is basically whatever it is that helps wholesome, skillful, beneficial states of mind increase, and those that are unwholesome, unskillful, unbeneficial to decrease. Whatever helps the mind to experience more well-being and less agitation, whatever helps the mind to be more peaceful and clear, less clouded, that is what our practice should be attentive to, alert to. And this takes a certain amount of reflection and investigation. It isn't just a matter of kind of pounding away at a technique. It's considering or establishing this considered attention, yoniso manasikara, on what is the results of whatever practice one picks up. How does it affect the mind? Does it really help to bring the mind to a place of clarity, or is it just getting us more tight and or confused or restless? And so that there is a need to be attentive to what actually works. What is it that helps us to understand dukkha and free the mind from dukkha, to let go of the causes of dukkha. So that this past weekend, Sunday, there was a Upasika Day, and the theme was around around thought, the use of thought, and to recognize that we actually have to learn how to direct thought in a skillful way, to be able to. It isn't the case that we just try to stop the mind from thinking, force the mind to not have any thought processes. It's learning how to lift up thought that actually is beneficial, is useful. That is what's called Dhammavicaya, and that is it's one of the bojjhangas, and one of the factors of awakening. Yes, mindfulness, Dhammavicaya, effort, joy, and tranquility, samadhi, the mind being settled, and equanimity. Those are the factors of awakening. So those that Dhammavicaya, the investigation of Dhamma, is a really critical factor for setting in motion the processes of mind that are going to, say, bear fruit in clarity and stillness. And again, the stillness is not the stillness of squelching or pushing the mind down, but the stillness of the mind understanding itself, understanding the nature of the world around us, and so that when there's a clear understanding, then there's a stillness there, and of course Ajahn Chah, I think, expressed it most to me most beautifully, and just in that idiom that he used of stillness flowing. Saying that in Thai it's or Nam Lai Ning, which is using water, the image of water flowing in a still way, and so that sense of the water is flowing, and there's movement there, but there's a stillness, a settled quality, and there's a stillness, there's a settled quality, there's a stopping, but there's still going to be some kind of movement. It's just the nature of the mind, but with that clarity of investigation and insight, and the according with Dhamma, bringing the mind into harmony with the principles of Dhamma, then there's going to be a stillness, and of course there's many discourses where the Buddha points to the different factors that are how do we align with Dhamma? How do we bring our minds, our hearts into accord with Dhamma? And there's the aspects of humility, sort of not having that need to prop up one's sense of self or assert one's sense of identity onto the world, or onto our own mind even. The sense of contentment, sense of ease that comes from not having to get what we desire all the time. So there's a sense of contentment. We can be content with either the physical things that we consume, or the circumstances that we're in, or even the mental states that arise and cease. There's a sense of contentment, knowing that one has the tools, has the means, has the capacity to be steady and still within those. And of course, effort is another aspect of according with Dhamma. And there's a place in the discourses where the Buddha actually emphasizes this is a teaching, a doctrine that relies on effort. It's not a nothing. It's not a doing nothing. There's a need to put forth effort. And of course, effort is not just flailing around dramatically, looking like you're doing something. It's attuning carefully to what is helpful for the mind to be steady. What is it that brings up qualities of peace and clarity and well-being, happiness? That requires a certain effort. It isn't just sitting back and doing nothing, hoping it's all going to work out for the best. But again, this is the Buddha's teaching is always a teaching of a middle way. In that, if we're constantly striving, constantly pushing, constantly tweaking, constantly putting, having to do, having to be all the time, then we don't really experience a sense of stillness and settledness. But again, there's a need to be willing to put forth effort. It's sort of like when we sit meditation. Of course, physically we're not doing anything, but mentally the mind needs to be applying itself to a certain alertness and being present. Because there's always there's a certain allure to not doing anything. Even in our conditioning is such that we're always wanting to, or looking forward to not doing anything. It's like, I can't wait till the end of the day when I get off work and I can go home and not do anything. Can't wait till the week is over and I get to the weekend. Can't wait till the year's over and get my holidays. Can't wait till my career's over so I can retire. And it's always waiting for something to end and looking forward to not doing anything. But the reality is we have to do something. It was like the other day, I was out sweeping the road, and one of the lay people said, "I thought you retired." I said, "Wow, there's still things that need to be done, and there's still things I want to do." sweeping the road is one of them. So that so that being able to engage and put forth effort in ways that help the mind to be more settled, more bright, and it's a application of effort. And so it's not just doing for the sake of doing, but it's the mind needs to engage in order for it to settle. Mindfulness works best when it has an object, even if the object is, say, the object of relinquishment or cessation. It's like there's that beautiful sutta where Sariputta is describing the experience of nibbana as himself aware, alert, attentive to the experience that nibbana is the cessation of becoming, and that comes up moment after moment after moment. This nibbana is the cessation of becoming. So it's not sort of trying to to annihilate, but it's a recognition, that is where peace is. That is where the experience of what is sublime is, and letting it see. So there's a certain, the balance is really fine. It's refined. So there's all sorts of levels of attentiveness that is required, and certainly as we have the opportunity of periods of retreat times. This will be going off and leading a 10-day retreat, so that's what we'll be doing, and just encourage people here to be doing the same thing. Just, taking that time to see how to fine-tune the practice, fine-tune the approach to putting forth effort, fine-tune the approach to directing the thoughts of the mind toward what is helpful for settling, for a clarity of mind, a clarity of heart to establish itself. So these different qualities are, so we aligning, according the mind with bringing the mind into harmony with the Dhamma, and that's basically taking, on a fundamental level, sort of like taking the Dhamma as a refuge. That's our taking Dhamma as refuge is it isn't just a sort of making being in front of a shrine with the kneeling with your hands on Anjali and I take Dhamma for refuge. It can be, but it is really the inclining of the mind toward inclining the heart to to the kind of a reverence toward the teachings, reverence towards principles of truth that the Buddha points to as liberating knowledge, liberating experience. That taking and realizing that we always have the opportunity to experience this Dhamma as refuge. And similarly, the Buddha as refuge. The Buddha is in a historical sense. Say the physical Buddhas passed away over 2,500 years ago, but that isn't a refuge. A good example, good reminder, but that quality of Buddha, it's like in one of the discourses where the Buddha is sitting in the forest, and meditating under a tree, and a Brahmin comes along, and he's probably out for a walk in the park where the religious seekers gather, sees the Buddha sitting under a tree, and he's immediately struck how there's something very special, something immediately inspiring about the presence of feeling of it, and comes and asks the Buddha, what are you? Are you some kind of great being of some sort? And the Buddha said, no, you're some deva, and said, no, some Brahma god, no, are you something else, some kind of ghost? No. And finally he said, well, what are you? And the Buddha just answers simply, just know me as one who is awake. And of course that's what Buddha, one of the literal meanings of Buddha is awake, and one who is awake. So that when we turn to that quality of awakening, it's taking the Buddha as refuge, reminding ourselves that is always accessible to us. That's always present. It's a here and now. It's a here and now Dhamma. That recollection, that reflection, that reminding ourselves. And of course the reminding ourselves of both the presence and the importance of Dhamma is that's actually what, say, sati is, what mindfulness is. That recollection, remembering, reminding ourselves of what accords with truth, what accords with the principles of the Dhamma. That's a function of mindfulness. So these teachings and these practices And of course, therefore, our day-to-day living, therefore for living our life of Dhamma practice, living in the world with Dhamma. But, from time to time it's helpful to lift them up and remind ourselves in a more focused way. So having a period of practice, having a period of training. So they say, a 10-day retreat for the lay community it's a wonderful gift to give people, and certainly for ourselves in the community here while we're away. Give yourself the gift of focusing on practice. Don't say don't get distracted. You will get distracted, but remember to come back to that practice, and remind yourself to return to the Dhamma. Remind yourself to lift up the refuges of Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Lift up the refuges of the Eightfold Path, the training itself. And as one does that, one has a refuge within oneself. One has a foundation within oneself that one can carry with you wherever you go. This is the Ajahn Chah once gave a really beautiful image of he said, like learning how to live with the Dhamma, rely on the Dhamma, have a refuge in Dhamma. He said it's like when you're young as a child, you learn how to like to read and to write. When you're at school, as you go to school, you learn how to read, you learn how to write, and then as you get a bit older, somebody sends you a letter, and you don't have to go back to the school, into the schoolyard, the school building to read that letter. And you can read it wherever you are, because you've got that skill within you. So it's similar with the practice of Dhamma. You learn how to carry that with you wherever you are. And you don't have to be in a particular place. Of course, and you don't have to have a particular schedule. But we do put ourselves into those situations and do it so we get that skill. But it's for learning how to carry that with us, moment to moment, day to day, present moment practice, here and now practice. So anyway, those are a few thoughts for reflection this evening.